Hey guys, MeLikeBigBoom here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Canada, a large-size Unturned map originally made by Nelson Sexton when Unturned 3.0 was in early-ish stages of development. Canada was an official map, and released unfinished with many buildings left without furnishings. It was planned to be finished through weekly updates, but the community ended up voting more so for the PI map from Unturned 2.0 to be recreated instead, with Canada being scrapped. And that's the route Nelson took, too, so that's how we got PI and Unturned today, but myself included, I think a pretty big portion of the Unturned community misses the large Canada map with its sparsely placed towns, snowy north, and huge forest where you could build bases. And I think the Steam user Dam7174 thought so too, so much so in fact that he went ahead and finished the Canada map. Let's go take a look at Canada Plus. Now I am here at Ontario on the Canada map, what many would consider the center point of the map, kind of the equivalent of Alberta in PI or Seattle in Washington. It is the biggest town in this game, and if we click M, this is where it is. It's a nice big town, or city I should say, in the Canada map. Now I have not played Canada Plus before, though I have played Canada back when it was unfinished. And immediately I'm noticing that stuff like this, the hardware store, is filled with furnishings and all sorts of awesome stuff to where you can actually loot the place without having to just run in the building and just find stuff on the ground. And this is awesome. And just to give you guys a little bit of an idea of how big this map is, this is almost twice the size of PI. I mean, I'm sure in land space it's most definitely twice the size. It's I should say almost twice the size of Washington. It is pretty crazy, and that is something that I really like about Canada, or at least I liked about Canada before it was scrapped. There are just tons and tons of different areas where you can build bases, and you know, not very many people are going to find you because you're just out in these huge forests. Like if you click M, this whole area right here was such a popular place to build bases because it was so far away from everything. Also this area up here and over here and all sorts of different stuff like that. I suppose to an extent it does make traveling from place to place somewhat difficult, but I don't know, I find a little bit of entertainment in doing so as long as it's in moderation. I mean, in DayZ, you oftentimes had to run for miles until you found something other than a road. In this, it's a nice mixture between both. This map also incorporates assets that we haven't really seen. Assuming you haven't dug into the game files or created some maps yourself, you're probably wondering, whoa, there's some trains here. Is this custom content? No, this is a vanilla thing that was in the game. This train wreck, I believe, was also in Canada before it was scrapped. So this was kind of one finished aspect of the game. The train models are super cool. I mean, check these out. This is a wrecked train here. We have different types of train cars. We have this yellow cargo place. We have the fuel tanks here. You cannot fill up off of that, though that would be kind of cool. And then some different containers and empty trailers or whatever you want to call these things. What do you call these? Train cars, I think. Is that what you call them? Very cool. And this is something that we haven't seen in the official maps that we have right now, but this is a vanilla thing in the game. Pretty sweet. And this is an example of a place where you can find some industrial spawns like bricks, wire, generators, spotlights, stuff like that. And bricks are also a whole lot more common now that we can build homes out of them. So anyway, pretty cool stuff here. Moving westward towards Alberta, this was a town that was very interesting in that a lot of the buildings here did not have any furnishings, and this was a place where you wanted to go if you wanted to get some clothes. And all over the floor, all over the place on the original map was just coated all over the road with clothes. I'm not entirely sure what happens. Maybe it was a reference to War of the Worlds whenever that laser shot everybody and shot their clothes all over the place. Maybe. I highly doubt it, but it definitely looked like that. But as we take a look at the Canada Plus version, as you can see, the clothes have been removed and they've been put in their respective areas where they should spawn, like in the laundry room of this house and stuff, now that it actually does have a laundry room. It's awesome how this entire map still keeps the same buildings in their locations and everything like that just as normal. There was a school there, there was a post office there were these moderate kind of office buildings. They're not huge, but they are office buildings nonetheless. The creator of this map did keep these buildings here, but he just went ahead and furnished them. He left him be, he did some spawn stuff, and did the best job that he could do in making this map seem like it was an official finished release, and make it basically what we all hoped it would have turned into. As we move further west, we eventually reach Vancouver, which in terms of the spawn stuff, or the types of buildings that you can find here, is the Canadian equivalent to Alberta and PI. It does have a nice shipping dock here for cargo ships. It also has some military tents up front, which Alberta does not have. It is a very awesome version of the dock that we can sort of find in Alberta, in that it has this train running through here with cargo shipment boxes on the side. And then we have the cargo ship, the SS Haven, I believe is what it's called, there in the middle. So this is also another location where you can find some hardware spawns, like some glue. Good stuff right there, boys. Num, num. And then back behind this shipping dock, we have some good old buildings, just like they were in the original Canada map, except once again, furnished and filled with item spawns and zombie spawns. Very cool. As we go off the road and head northward through these massive forests, we begin to have a little bit of a climate change from nice grasslands to, as you can see up there, an Arctic winterland. But before we head over there, we have an awesome airport. This airport is called Northwest Field, and I'm not entirely sure if that is what it was called in the original map, but I do believe there was an airport here originally. Here you can find some car jacks, fuel, more bricks, and some nice sandpipers. 2 here, actually. Very nice. I also do like that the airplane spawns have been very much so increased, so that you can actually take advantage of flying around on a map, with this one being large rather than a medium-sized map like PI or Washington. Up here in the air traffic control tower, it does have more detail than what we would expect at Belfast Airport on PI, and it's got some nice quad monitor setup, except they are companion cube monitors. It's a relatively simple airport, but it is there nonetheless. Pretty cool. Across from the airport over there, we are greeted with something that also we haven't seen in the vanilla maps that we have available to us right now, but still contain vanilla items in the game, and that is the Big J Quarry. This is awesome. Perhaps affiliated with the Big J gas stations and Big J fast food places. I think this is another area where the Big J business has expanded their horizons to mining, and this is an awesome place where you can find some scrap metal with these boulders, and you can also find some more industrial spawns like bricks and generators and stuff of those sorts. Now that we do have an oil derrick added into the game, it's also this model here might be familiar, although it is the big version. This cannot be turned on though it would be freaking awesome. Could you imagine that, turning that on? Maybe if you had like 3 generators nearby or something. Pretty cool. And then we have these huge driller saws. I'm not entirely sure what the name of these things are, but these are in real life. I'm not even joking. I'll show you guys a picture. Crazy, crazy stuff. This is a massive saw blade designed to cut into mountains, and then we have some areas where the construction members meet their managers and helipads. This also might be a sky crane spawn. Anyway, super cool stuff here. This is the Big J Quarry. Now that we've checked out some of those things, I think it's time to venture off into the winter wonderland. Heading over the top of this hill, you'll notice that it is going to get a little more chilly as that we head into the northern area of Canada Plus. Very cool. Up here we can experience Nunavut and Yukon and Scorpion 7 and Yellowknife and all sorts of other cool locations. The roads are icy here, so I'm gonna need to find a better vehicle. This is what I'm talking about. Now I believe right here is Yukon. Once again, same buildings, even has the hockey rink here. Or maybe it's a soccer field or something that's frozen over, but yes, Yukon nonetheless. I think you guys might get the picture here that it has the same buildings, but furnished and has some item spawns. It is getting a little chilly outside. I think it's time to fix this, don't you think? Perfect. Let's go ride. Lastly, up here, we're taking a look at the biggest Scorpion 7 we've seen so far. Before, we have seen Scorpion 7 on the Washington, not on PI anymore, but it is on Washington here, and it is of relatively small size. But the operation that they are running here on the Canada map is pretty big as well, almost as big as what's being ran on the Yukon map. Here you can find some seriously awesome guns here with 2 Vipers here, and then as many of you guys know that we might be able to find here, that's a negatory, but we can find some railguns here, the Shadow Stalker, very cool. This Scorpion 7 is fancy enough that it has its own helipad and runway. This might be where you can find some sandpipers alongside either some sky cranes or some military helicopters. I'm not entirely sure. Once again, I have not played this map, but surely you'll be able to find something there, I think. And then, of course, we have this awesome radio tower up at the very tippity top of, I believe this is actually the highest point in... No, it's not. One of the highest points of the map. I do see a very, very, very small green little dot right there, but I'm not entirely sure what that is. I think it is going to be left to you guys to figure that out. If you guys would like to download this map, it's going to be in the description down below leading you to the Steam workshop. Be sure to support the creator of this map. He did a fantastic job of finishing the Canada map in a way that all of us had hoped that it would have been, and I definitely think it's worth taking a look at. And also with the release of this video, my official Unturned server is going to be running this map for however long you guys feel it should be ran. If you guys would like to connect to the server and play on this map right now, you can connect using the information on the screen right now and in the description down below. But anyway, that's all I have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and do all that gibberish because MeLikeBigBoom is out.